Welcome back to In the House with Beth and Ryan. I'm Beth and this is Ryan.
Today we are going to talk about what's happening in November because November, for a few different reasons, there's stuff going on.
We're going to talk about what's happening in the market.
Yes.
And also what's happening with our current diet regime.
Yes. we are ambassadors or judges for Novemburger, which is an initiative by the United Way where $2 from every burger is donated back to the United Way for food security initiatives.
Yep.
And
in our area.
In our area, yes. And so as a result of that, we have to go to 10 different places in November.
It's a very difficult job.
It's a very difficult job. And have the burgers that they have made specifically for this event. And we have now been, now that we're in the last week of November, to 8 of the 10 required places. We have one left in Guelph and we have one left in Orangeville to go to. And we can't tell you what our favorite one is so far, but
we do have one.
I think we both agree on what it is.
Yeah.
And
but it could change because there's still two more.
There's still two more, yep. So if you are out and about this week and you're looking for something to do all the way up until the end of day on November 30th, get out there, have one. Money goes to a good cause, and you can even vote on your favorite Novemburger. And I think, although I don't know, the restaurant that wins is going to keep theirs. I don't
keep it on the menu.
Keep it on the menu. I don't know how that works, but
they would be smart to do that.
They would be smart to do that.
Yeah.
So that's Novemburger. The other one we always forget to mention is that we do a segment on Magic FM the last Wednesday of every month. So that's this coming Wednesday. And we are on with Lisa and Brent on the morning show from 9 to 9:30, and we talk
all things real estate.
All things real estate.
We often talk about similar topics to what we might talk about here, but it's for a little bit longer, more conversational, I guess.
Yeah. And so if you are in your car or in your office on Wednesday morning at 9 a.m., you will catch us live on the morning show. And now we'll get into what's happening in the market. And November of this year is a bit of an anomaly because sales this month are way higher than they have been in prior Novembers and way higher than the annual average at this point, which for November is really strange.
Typically, if you look at the sales, like the trending number of sales month by month in Guelph, during the spring months into the early fall, we're seeing houses, the average number of houses will sell per day. So if it's a five houses sell per day on average that year, you're usually hitting that average or maybe even a little higher during some of the spring months. But by November, usually that number has dipped below the average.
Yep, and not this year. So the average in Guelph right now is 5 per day throughout from January all the way to October. And we're looking at 5.25 in November, which doesn't seem like a lot, but for November, as Beth mentioned, it's higher than average and it's pretty unusual. So why that is, it's tough to say. It could be there was a half point interest rate decline last month.
And also I think the interest rate decreases coupled with the fact that the market last year at this time was almost a little stalled. So it's possible that there's a bit of a pent up demand or people who were looking to buy that held off on that. And maybe we're starting to see those people come back to the market and buy. Yeah,
there's probably a lot of different reasons why. And is it a good time to buy? It could be. I mean, it really comes down to your own circumstances and whether now is a good time for you for a number of different reasons. We'd never say buy now because maybe it's going to get better in the coming months. Tough to say. But if it does feel right, if you get a better mortgage rate, like maybe you've been waiting on, your money goes a little bit further now than it did a year ago. Maybe it is a good time for you to get into the market. And
it's not a bad time.
It's not a bad time. Yeah. It's not a bad time. There have been worse. And the market seems to be pretty stable at this point. We took a look at the sales for this month as well to see if we could figure out if there was something in particular that was driving the volume, and there's nothing that really stands out. Sales
in terms of categories or neighborhoods or price points, it seems like it's fairly evenly distributed across the board.
That's right, fairly even distributed. The only thing we did notice was that the average price of this month is higher than the average for the full year. So for some reason, higher priced homes over $1 million seem to have picked up a little bit this month. But I mean, it is an average, so there could be just a month where higher volume houses sell.
Although that is also the category that we've seen struggling the most in recent months. So it could come back a little bit to that kind of pent up demand, coupled with like the lowering interest rates and people coming back at that price point.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. December is typically very slow. Last year it was just over 2 houses a day that sold in Guelph in December. So we'll see what happens in December. There's anticipation of I think a 0.25% decrease now in interest rates. It was higher, but it's now likely looking like it's going to be lower. And we'll see if that makes a difference. I suspect that when January rolls around, like typically happens, the market will start off strong again.
Most people in December kind of check out for a little bit and they're spending time with their family. It's holidays, and kind of come back, like Brian said, in January. So I'd be surprised if we see that the numbers stay up through December.
I can't imagine, but I didn't also expect that November would be where it is. So I don't know what to expect in December, but I do anticipate, like prior years, January will start to come back pretty strong. I think that's all we have to say for this month. Do you have anything else?
I think that's all. Listen to us on Wednesday if you're around.
Listen to us on Wednesday. And as always, you can find us at bethandryan.ca.